Let's create a multi-site presentation for a restaurant with two locations. One is in Toronto and the other is in San Francisco. The restaurant owner wants the same branding and look, but both locations have different content. Rather than create two presentations, one for each location, we're going to use one presentation with location-specific content that will only appear when and where it's supposed to. To set up the local specials, add a placeholder with two image items, each going to a different display in the distribution options. The breakfast, lunch, and dinner videos play at different times during the day. Even though Toronto and San Francisco are in two different time zones, if I add the three videos to a placeholder and use the timeline option to schedule them, since the local time on the display is what's used for scheduled items, I know the content will show at the times that I've specified. Toronto's and San Francisco's weather are very different, so accurate weather information needs to be on each display. I'll add the weather gadget to a placeholder and use the option where the geolocation reported by the computer running the display says it is. This means that wherever the display is, that's the weather that will show up. The restaurants want to show the Foursquare mayor of each location, as well as any tips or check-ins. Make sure that both the Toronto and San Francisco displays have the correct venue IDs assigned, and add the Foursquare gadget to a new placeholder in the presentation. The restaurant has a section in the presentation for advertisers, but they don't want the advertisers editing their presentation directly. Instead, the advertisers can just update a presentation that is embedded into the restaurant's presentation. Add the presentation ID of the presentation that you want to embed as a playlist item, and now whatever changes you make to that embedded presentation will show up in the restaurant's presentation. On busy nights, these restaurants don't want waiting customers to get bored. Adding the photo album gadget with the cover flow visual option can show off the interactivity of the presentation while the customers scroll through tasty menu items and restaurant events. Now that you can create a fantastic interactive multi-site presentation, let me show you how to make your own gadgets.